Hello, welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video. That is the Geara Doga. I got a match here for you on City Ruins, and I really haven't used the Geara Doga in a while. I say a while. I think I've used it once or twice before, and I realized I never really made a video on it using the new. I say new. It's been out for a while. The Commander Beam Rifle. And if you guys don't know, this was a gotcha weapon. I believe it was a gotcha weapon when it came out, and it could be put on the, replace their primaries. It would get put on the Geara Doga, the Regelgu, or the Jagd Doga QA. And I actually had a few streams where I used the Jagd Doga QA with the beam rifle. And, it makes the Jagd Doga QA a lot more consistent stun-wise, and it really helped out that suit. And I feel like that could apply to the Geara Doga as well. And like I said, I hadn't really played as much, so I decided, hey, you know what? I want to try out the Geara Doga with the beam rifle and see how it does. And yeah, I decided to load up my Geara Doga with a whole bunch of melee strength. I believe 64 here, and I think maybe even educational computer. I can't remember exactly. But basically, yeah, you'll see later in the match, I'll get a 3,000 damage downswing, followed up by a 4,000 damage downswing. And this thing, one of its more devastating combos is doing a 3 downswing combo. And then you can mix up your heavy stagger, which will do a decent chunk of damage as well. That's not even combining your other weapons, like your Sturmfaust or your beam machine gun. And hey, we're going to stop an enemy pilot here from capturing a point. I believe this is going to be one of the few times I ever get a pilot kill with a knife. I want to say it's like my 3rd time ever. And I was going to do a support fire, then I realized, let's not waste it on the last person getting ganked by our entire team. I wish a lot more people realize that you can cancel your support fire when you realize something like that, but unfortunately they don't. And I'll decide to wait for the enemy team to spawn in. I'll use stealth, because if you guys don't know, the Geara Doga also has a stealth option, where I'll use the... you'll pop a stealth out, and yeah, you have stealth. You can come up behind somebody. Yeah, you pop the smoke right there, and go up and hit somebody, and it'll be perfect. Using the machine gun, or the beam gun, and then straight into the Sturmfaust, or maybe a heavy stagger like here, and go for the downswing. Unfortunately, one of our teammates went for a support fire anyway, and I kind of just killed the person he was going after, which is unfortunate. But yeah, again, triple downswing. And you saw that damage potential really good, especially since I buffed up my my melee strength. And yeah, the Geara Doga is, honestly, I still think the Geara Doga is still a pretty good suit. Now, of course, it has its disadvantages, like range-wise. If you don't have the beam machine gun, the new one, I think the old machine gun fucking sucks on this suit, because the suit has low range strength. In fact, I think my previous loadout with that old weapon on this suit was I actually had my square. Usually square would be where your primary weapon is. Yeah, my primary would be the grenade launcher. I would just use the grenades instead of just using the machine gun, the beam machine gun, the older one. But yeah, I mentioned earlier that the Jagd Doga QA felt a lot more consistent stun-wise, and honestly, feels the same way here for the Geara Doga. You can get a pretty quick stun accumulation with the beam rifle, or you can get a stun, and you go straight into your Sturmfaust. And Sturmfaust have a pretty good range, readies up pretty decently fast. Get a double stun right there. Somebody does a dodge roll, you can wait for that when you do your first stun. Go into the Sturmfaust, or maybe even go into your heavy stagger. The wire. You'll see me use the wire a few times. The wire is still it's a really good wire if you can learn the angle, because it is, I believe, the longest wire in the game. However, because it's so long, it will actually deviate to the right side a little bit. I say a little bit, like a lot. It angles itself. And you saw, I think we might have passed it, where I actually did use the angle to my advantage on the... oh wait, that was like near the beginning of the match. Yeah, I used the angle to my advantage to hit somebody around a corner. And I'll use that because if it's linked again, I'll use it when somebody's charging at me later on. And it's a really nice wire to have. Just make sure you learn the angle and how far you can reach for it, because again, it's really versatile on how you can use it. And honestly, that's how I can. That's kind of sort of how I'd say the Geara Doga is. It's a very Of course, I say versatile, not really range-wise in terms of like like those big open maps like military base or desert, but more versatility melee-wise. It has a lot of ways to engage at mid-range to get closer for melee, or it has a lot of ways to get its melee off. Of course, we talked about the heavy stagger. You can do a lot of things to get that heavy stagger off. You have a lot of stun potential to get closer. You have 2 melee attacks. One of them, the neutral swing for the beam saber, actually has a decent range to it, and of course the axe does a lot of damage as well. I say that, but then again, the beam saber did like 3,000 damage to somebody earlier in the match, but then again, 4,000 damage on the axe. But yeah, the Geara Doga is certainly not a lackluster suit in terms of melee, and I do like it for that. Just hitting off that combo, popping off, you know. Unfortunately, you know, sometimes when I play this game, melee isn't, I never really, I get the short end of the stick when I try to play melee in this game, either because of latency, actually just mostly latency. People will dodge roll out of my attacks, or I'll have a position where I clearly hit the person and they'll take damage. Sometimes I'll hit them twice in a row, and then I'll get tackled. It's like, okay, well, fuck me then, I guess. And here you can see, shooting the stern foul straight into the heavy stagger, right into the melee, set up for the Riga Z to come in with the heavy attack. So yeah, beautiful work by the Riga Z teaming up there. Actually, I guess that was more of everybody's part. You know, I got the stuns and the heavy stagger, and then he came in with the heavy attack for the major damage. I think the other guy might have finished him off. But hey, there's a Geara Zulu, my younger brother. There we go. Almost got that confused. Go ahead. Oh, that's a counter on the Riga Z. Probably read a heavy attack. Yeah. All right. There we go. Read the dodge roll. Got the heavy stagger. Nice. And now we wait for somebody else to spawn in, and you'll see the how useful the stun accumulation is on the beam machine gun here. Yeah, already stunned, straight into the heavy stagger. Unfortunately, he did a dodge roll, but don't worry, I'm just going to wail on him with my melee. I have 2 melees, I can just juggle him until I get stunned. But oh well, I think his legs are broke because he's going to move away, and yeah, he's on the ground. He just got up, he is gone. Oh, never mind, I'm going to finish him off. There we go, now he's gone. And last person to finish off here. Didn't get anything. Almost read that correctly of him getting out of invulnerability. But hey, we're on the last minute here. Somebody did plant a bomb, but it's 14,000 to 7,000. I think our team, yeah, we're not really going to be worried about the bomb at the moment. Go ahead and chase the raid. And we both tackled. We thought we were just going to melee each other. Alright, heavy stagger. Unfortunately, I cannot follow up on a heavy stagger, even though that was a pretty good chunk of damage, 3,000 damage. I did get hit from behind. I have 156 health left. Not much else to do. Might as well just throw out a melee. Got 1 melee out, and that's pretty much it. That's all I can do. And I'm going to have to sit out the rest of this match, because by the time I spawn back in, it'll probably be about time for the match to end. But yeah, Geara Doga, still a pretty capable suit, and I was going to say I don't see it a whole lot, but honestly, I still think definitely for higher costs, I don't see it as much, but at 500, I still see some every now and then, and it still does fairly well for itself. Again, a really helpful frontline general to have. And yeah, good works all around. And we'll see what we got going on here today. Mission completed. And let's see our placement. And hey, top individual, top damage, over 100k, and I did get shot at the most. I wasn't really playing smart there, so I was just kind of rushing people. But hey, first place, 6 and 4. Excuse me, and a pretty good pursuit assist. And yeah, almost forgot to say, yeah, 5 points away from 4,000 individual score. And yeah, that is the Geara Doga. And as you can tell, it's a pretty good at doing its job at trying to melee people. You know, back when it came out, it came out around the same time as the Jagd, and I believe it was one after another. And between the two, I think I prefer the Geara Doga over the Jagd. The Jagd, it's a very general unit, and it has some pretty good grenades on it as well. But I think for how people play this game, I think the Geara Doga is just a pretty magnificent suit. I still do good with the Jagd too, don't get me wrong, but for me, the Geara Doga just has a lot more, especially now with this new machine gun. Again, I say new, it's been a while. I do recommend if you ever see that in the store, or if it's in the DP store by now, I don't know. Go ahead and get that. That'll actually, it actually makes the suit pretty good if you're not a fan of the old beam machine gun this has, or its regular beam machine gun. Again, it really helped out the Jagd Doga QA, and I think it's really I think it really helps out this suit as well in helping get stuns, and the accumulation's better as well. Unfortunately, you lose a instant stun with the grenade launcher, but honestly, I think it's a lot more versatile with this weapon instead. So yeah, let me know how you guys feel about the Geara Doga and that new weapon. And I want to use it for the Re-Gilgu, but honestly, I think the Re-Gilgu having 3 instant stuns is kind of its whole selling point, especially with how fast you can get the staggers off. And if you use the beam machine gun, you're stuck with, I believe, 1 instant stun, and it's the longest one possible, the armed grenade launcher. So I think it's not going to help out the Re-Gilgu as much. I still think, actually, I'll have to give it a try at some point. I just don't think it's really going to help out the Re-Gilgu as much as it helps out the Jagd Doga and the Geara Doga. But yeah, that'll be it, and I will see you guys later. Bye.